Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this meeting of the Murfreesboro City School Board for June 23rd, 2026. We will get started with our Pledge of Allegiance, and we have two principals here tonight to lead us in our pledge, Dr. Caitlin Bullard from Discovery School and Ms. Quinina Bell from Hobgood. If you two will come forward, and if everyone will stand for the pledge and remain standing for a moment of silence.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now our moment of silence. Thank you. You may be seated. I did skip over one item we have on the agenda. We've kind of moved things around a little bit because of a new state law. So we have public comment first, but we have no public comment. So no harm, no foul. All right. Board, you have seen a copy of the agenda for tonight. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda as printed?
So moved, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Richardson. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Campbell. Any comments or questions? All those in favor of approving the agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And we have an agenda for tonight's meeting. Communications, Ms. Lisa Trail.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I have several things for the upcoming school year to talk about, and a few for what's going on now. But right now, a lot of our schools already have their kindergarten screenings up on their website. So if you have a child going into kindergarten this year, probably a good time to look at your school's website to get the information you need to get those screenings are scheduled. ESP fall registration is now open. Go to the ESP website for full details and registration information, and that does still include KinderCamp. I think KinderCamp still has spots at most of our schools. Again, we really want to go ahead and get those kindergartners registered, and we need to know that they're coming. The Back to School Bash, which is a partnership with Murfreesboro Muslim Youth and several other community partners, will be held Saturday, July 25th at Mitchell Nielsen Primary. We will share more details as information as it gets closer, but we want to make sure that parents know we have lists of school supplies on our website. If they can't get all those school supplies, we will have them for them, thanks to people like our Muslim youth group and our United Way partners. Merv, Chewy, and Chow are all out serving across Murfreesboro for our summer feeding program, as well as several of our schools are serving as feeding sites. We have a complete schedule for breakfast as well as lunch on our website and on all the school websites as well. So it's a great opportunity. Anyone, regardless of whether they're a part of Murfreesboro City Schools or not, 18 and younger can receive free breakfast and lunch from Merv, Chewy, or Chow, or our summer feeding sites. And finally, this Thursday, we are looking forward to honoring 4 distinguished educators at our Hall of Fame. This will be our 3rd Hall of Fame. The inductees this year will be Miss Becky Bookner, Miss Susan Gendrich, Dr. Linda Gilbert, and Miss Cindy Jones. So we hope to see you all there. And those are your communications.
Thank you, Ms. Trail. All right, next we have the best of MCS, Dr. Duke.
Good evening. Tonight it is my privilege to recognize our June Best of MCS honoree, and I am privileged to invite Mr. Tony Bailey to join me at the podium. Mr. Tony, as we call him, has served Murfreesboro City Schools in our transportation department since 2011 and currently serves as our lead bus aide. Over the past 15 years, he has become a trusted and valued member of our district, known by students, parents, principals, and staff alike. Tonight, we recognize Mr. Tony not only for the work he does each day, but the impact he has on ensuring that every student in Murfreesboro City Schools has safe, reliable transportation to and from our campuses. The nomination we received for Mr. Tony said this: Mr. Tony is a valuable asset to our transportation department. It highlighted the way he supports staff and schools with student behavior on buses and how he plays an important role in training new employees in our safety goals and expectations for transporting our students. His supervisor, Mr. Rome, shared that Tony is a 15-year employee who serves as our lead bus assistant with a strong and unwavering focus on student safety. He is known throughout the district not only for the work he does, but for the relationships he builds. He moves from bus to bus each day, solving problems, supporting staff, and making sure that our students are safe and cared for. What stands out most is his commitment to people. He takes the time to communicate directly with parents and with principals, helping to build a trust and strengthening partnership across our community. Our employees respect him and actively seek his support because of the confidence, consistency, and encouragement he brings to the job. In his role, Mr. Tony also works directly with students who may need additional supports on the bus, ensuring they're able to travel to school safely each day. That work is incredibly important. For many of our students, the school bus begins and ends their day, and the environment they experience matters. Mr. Tony helps ensure that it is a safe, structured, and supportive place for all students. And he does all this with a smile on his face, a positive attitude, and a willingness to help wherever he is needed. His passion for the job is evident in everything he does, and his impact on both our transportation team and our students are truly outstanding. Mr. Tony told me this. He said, "One of the things I love about my job is teaching our transportation employees the best way to keep our MCS students safe on the way to and from school." He said he takes opportunities to teach our MCS students how to be responsible and safe bus riders and members of society. In addition, he tries to help them see that there are good choices and some not so good choices, and that these choices can make a big impact on their life. They should strive to be great in everything they choose to do in life and set positive goals and give their best effort toward them. I think you can see Mr. Tony takes a bus ride and teaches and turns that bus ride into a life lesson every day. Board members, Mr. Tony represents the very best of MCS. He is dedicated, he's dependable, and he is deeply committed to serving our students and supporting our colleagues. So, Mr. Tony, on behalf of the Transportation Department, the school board, and the school system, it is my great honor to recognize you as our June Best of MCS honoree. Congratulations. Great. All right, go for it.
I just want to thank, the people that nominated me for this great honor, and I love my job. I love coming to work with the students, keeping them on the straight and narrow. They all know who I am. When they see me get on the bus, they love me. But it's just all about making sure that they understand that they have to be safe, going to school and going home, because that's what the parents rely on us to do, is to get them to school and get them home safely. And they put all of that trust into us to do that. And like I said, we're very passionate about our jobs, in transportation. Love my bosses, Robin and Brian, the staff I work with, tremendous staff. I mean, the guys, and Karen is my secretary of the year. She's always there for me when I need her to do, this or that for me or whatever. So the people that I work with, treasure them, and the kids just love them. The one thing I want to leave you guys with is, one day I was in a Walmart with my wife, and I want to thank my wife also as well. Definitely don't want to forget that. But I was in a Walmart one day, and I was in line with her also as well. And there was this young lady she was a cashier, and she said, "Mr. Tony?" And I said, "Yeah." And I'm looking at her like, "Who are you?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I said, "Mr. Tony." She said, "You remember me?" And I said, "No." I'm looking at her, and she's like, "I used to ride one of the school buses." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And she said, "I was bad." She said, "But ever since I rode the bus and you came on there and you told me one day that I needed to, change my whole choices that I was making, is all the bad choices and things that I were doing on the bus, I changed that up, and I always thought about you helping me out with that, and I kept that with me. And now she's, the lead cashier at Walmart, and I told her I was very proud of her, to be that successful and, doing what she's doing. So those are the kind of things that make me really take a notice to the students and make me understand that, we're here for a reason, and I really appreciate that. And I appreciate everybody that's here also as well. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
He's also a mean basketball coach, too.
Well, thank you, Mr. Tony, and thanks for sharing those words. I think that just drives home that, anytime we interact with kids, we just never know what kind of impact we're making. So thank you. Right, board, next on the agenda is our consent items. Do I have a motion to approve the consent items?
So moved.
Thank you, Ms. Long. Do I have a second from
Second.
Ms. Dodd? Any comments or questions about the consent agenda? All those in favor of approving the consent agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And those items are approved. For our action items, first up, approval of a contract, Course Mojo AI Teaching Assistant Agreement. Dr. Duke.
Yes, ma'am. We are requesting board approval of the contract with Course Mojo Teaching Assistant Program for the 26-27 school year. This purchase will provide 1,750 teaching assistant licenses for 5th and 6th grade students. In addition to the licenses, the purchases include professional development for both school leaders and teachers, technology setup, and coaching support. Course Mojo is an instructional technology platform that is aligned directly with our adopted ELA classroom curriculum and is designed to support that instruction. It helps students engage with grade level text and assignments through interactive and differentiated activities. The total cost of the program is $53,750, and we are recommending approval. It is in our FY27 general purpose budget, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Do we have a motion to approve the agreement for Course Mojo AI Teaching Assistant?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Campbell. Do we have a second? Thank you, Ms. Dodd. Any comments or questions? All right, you all surprise me sometimes because we don't ask questions about. Well, I'm going to ask a question because I just feel like if the public hears us voting on something AI, that's just such a hot topic and controversial in some ways. So, can you tell us about? I think when we think of AI, we think are our kids going to be interacting with this database of language, and are they putting things into it that would show up? How is this safe for our kids?
Yeah, I'm actually going to ask Mickey to come up if he doesn't mind. Mickey Brooks is, of course, one of our fantastic instructional technology specialists. So we've been piloting this in a small system the last couple of years with several other districts across the state have also been working through this. We've seen some really great results from our teachers and staff. I will say it is different than what we typically think about as a closed system, but with Mickey, if you want to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, what makes it safe for kids is it's a closed AI system. In comparison to an open AI system would be ChatGPT, Google Gemini, something that you would use. So an open AI system would mean you can go and look at the Braves score, you can look at the stock market. So Course Mojo would be a closed AI system, which means the only information in that AI system is going to be 5th and 6th grade reading and language arts Course Mojo curriculum.
So it'll be interacting directly with that. It's really a tool that gives really great feedback to students that's tied directly to the curriculum. So the data is not out there on the web. It's in that closed system. And again, the only thing it's pulling from is our ELA materials.
Okay, and then just one other question. So, there's also been a lot of talk about technology in the classroom, that sort of thing. And it sounds like this has been used in some places. Here, we tested it. Some other places have been using it. What have been the results? Why would we want to spend money on this?
Yeah, I have been in several classrooms in our pilot system, and just the feedback from the students and teachers using this program has been phenomenal. Students love the interactive piece, and it's not really a piece where the students are sitting there quietly working. The teacher is moving with their laptop or iPad and monitoring that system, so they can see the students working live and seeing that instant feedback with the AI program.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments or questions?
I reached out to our 3 pilot principals and got nothing but positive feedback about this program and just how it engages the students on such an active level. So I feel very comfortable with it.
Any other comments or questions? Dr. D.
Just one, and I know, again, because we want the board to be fully aware, so Ms. Arnett and I have talked, I mentioned it to Ms. Moore as well, we will have, at our August workshop, we have a little more time, we're actually going to have a demo. Mickey will come in, do a demo, let you guys be students and kind of interact with yourself so you feel really comfortable with what it's doing as well.
Thank you. All right, if there's no other comments or questions, all those in favor of the agreement for Course Mojo AI Teaching Assistant, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And that agreement is approved. Next on our agenda is approval of a contract with Open Up Resources ELA Instructional Materials.
This contract is, I will say for several of the contracts you'll see tonight are just our annual renewal of our instructional materials that we use in our classroom. This time of year is when we renew all those contracts. So this contract is to renew our purchase with Open Up Resources, which provides our English language arts instructional materials for all of our students in kindergarten through sixth grade. The purchase provides standard-aligned literacy resources for our high-quality instruction. The materials, as I said, serve all of our students in K through 6, and this is our annual purchase of the district-adopted instructional materials. In addition to this being our adoption, the materials are also included on the list of instructional materials approved by the Tennessee Textbook and Instructional Quality Commission, and the purchase was made in accordance with the state-approved pricing. The total cost of the purchase is $260,015, which is budgeted in our curriculum instruction materials through our general purpose budget. And we are recommending approval as presented.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve the Open Up Resources English Language Arts Instructional Materials?
So moved, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Richardson. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions? All right, all those in favor of approving the contract, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And we've approved that contract. Next, approval of another contract, this one for Studies Weekly, the agreement for Tennessee Science Materials.
Yes, and before I jump into this, I do want to clarify, and I should have said this earlier, I think one of the things as we think about approving these every year is as a reminder, not just to the board, but to our parents that are watching, that several years ago, there was a pretty significant shift away from textbooks to consumable materials. So whether it's our math materials or our science, because they're interactive, they're still paper, pencil, hardback materials, but it's not a traditional textbook that we may have had in the classroom that is passed down for year after year. So we are requesting board approval for the contract to renew our purchase of Tennessee Science Studies Weekly instructional materials, also for students in kindergarten through fifth grade for the 26-27 school year. These materials provide standards-based print and digital resources aligned to our Tennessee academic standards for science and are designed to support high-quality science instruction. Like our ELA materials, they are also on the list of instructional materials approved by the Tennessee Textbook and Instructional Quality Commission. The total price for our science materials for next year is $101,467 and will be paid through our general purpose funds. We're recommending approval and are happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Do we have a motion to approve the contract for Studies Weekly for science?
So moved.
Thank you, Ms. Long. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Campbell. Any comments or questions? All those in favor of approving this contract, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And it's approved. Next, approval of another contract. This one, CDWG Microsoft Annual Renewal.
This contract that we're seeking approval for is to purchase Microsoft licensing, security, and server software assurances from CWG in the amount of $68,199. This purchase includes our Microsoft 365 licenses for district staff, as well as Active Directive licensing and server software assurances needed to support our district operations, cybersecurity, and identity management. The purchase will be made through the Sourcewell Cooperative Purchasing Program, and the total cost for the contract, again, is $68,199. We are recommending approval as presented. This is included in our FY27 technology budget.
Thank you. Do we have a motion to approve the contract with the CDWG Microsoft Annual Renewal? Thank you, Mr. Settles. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Price. Any comments or questions?
I thought the name was a typo.
CDWG? Just a lot of numbers, letters? Yeah.
If y'all don't want us to have email, that is always an option too. So,
Hey, don't tempt me.
All right. Any other comments or questions? All right. All those in favor of approving this contract, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And it's approved. All right. Next, approval of agreement with Master Fence for a fence at Mitchell Nielsen Elementary. Dr. Duke.
we are requesting board approval to enter into an agreement with Master Fence for the installation of approximately 48 linear feet of 4-foot residential grade black chain link fencing, which includes 2 4-foot gates at Mitchell Nielsen Primary School. The project will enclose a designated play area for the Little Sprouts classrooms in accordance with state guidelines. The purpose of this project is to provide a permanent perimeter improvement to enhance safety and control at that site. As the board's aware, we are moving all of our Little Sprouts classes into the primary building, so that means that playground over there, we do have to have that fenced in accordingly. The total cost of the fence installation is $3,325 and will be funded through ESP. We are recommending approval as presented and are happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Do we have a motion to approve the agreement with Master Fence?
So moved.
Thank you, Ms. Long. Do we have a second? Second. Thank you, Mr. Campbell. Any comments or questions? All those in favor of approving the agreement, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And it's approved. Next, approval of another contract, iReady Classroom Mathematics Materials, the annual purchase. Dr. Duke.
Yes, this contract renews our purchase of iReady Classroom Mathematics Instructional Materials for 26-27. iReady Classroom Math is a comprehensive kindergarten through sixth grade curriculum that is both our print instructional materials as well as digital resources. Similarly to the other ones we've approved, these are also on the Tennessee Textbook and Instructional Quality Commission and is our adopted materials. The total price for the purchase is $399,840 and will be paid from our curriculum instruction funds in the general purpose budget. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Do we have a motion to approve the contract for iReady Classroom Mathematics Materials?
So moved, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Richardson. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Dodd. Any comments or questions? I have a question about this one. So this is for hard, like actual tangible materials.
It's for both. So it's
Okay.
both every student gets, and Sharon, I asked you to come up, every student gets a hard book, like their textbook for the year, but they actually write in them. So it's the replenish of that. And then the annual license for the online computer piece as well. Is that correct, Sherry?
So I think a lot of us parents, when we hear iReady, we think of just the program, but they're paper materials as well.
Yes, it's both. It's the online portion and the consumable, what we would refer to as workbooks.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Anybody want to make Sherry's walk up here worth it?
That
Any
was okay.
Comments, comments or questions? Okay. All those in favor of approving the iReady agreement, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And it's approved. Thank you, Sherry. All right, next, another contract. Approval of a contract, SWC 424 Motorola radios. Dr. Duke.
We are seeking approval to purchase 150 Motorola radios from Airwave Communications at a cost of $315 per unit for a total purchase price of $47,250. These radios will replace equipment currently in service in the district to ensure continued reliability in communication. The total cost of the purchase is $47,250 and is part of our FY27 operations budget for school safety. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have, and we're recommending approval as presented.
All right, thank you. Do we have a motion to approve the contract for the purchase of the Motorola radios?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Campbell. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Long. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, let's vote. All those in favor of approving the contract for the Motorola radios, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And it's approved. All right, next, approval of the Memorandum of Understanding for 2026-2027 with Murfreesboro Police Department.
Yes, this is our annual MOU that we ask the board to approve every year to participate in the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security FY27 School Resource Officer Grant Program. The MOU outlines the responsibilities of the school district and the Murfreesboro Police Department regarding the assignment and operation of the school resource officers within our schools. Approval of this agreement allows the district to participate in the FY27 SRO program. I do want to point out that school resource officers are funded through the City of Murfreesboro Police Department budget along with the state grant funding, so there is no direct cost associated to the district. Obviously, a great benefit to the district, though, aside from the administrative and operational coordinations. I do want to say, as you consider this, a special thank you to Captain Fanning, who leads that department, Lieutenant Williams, and our sergeants and our SROs. Next year, we are slated to have 27 SROs serving our schools and our force. And again, he has really grown that program. Some of our larger schools, we're sitting at 2 SROs. Every school has an SRO every day. In our larger schools, we have 2, 27 SROs, in addition, 4 SRO supervisors. just, I can't tell you how great and what a deterrent they are to anyone that wants to do harm to our students. So we recommend approval of the SRO MOU as presented.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve the memorandum of understanding with MPD?
So moved, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Richardson.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Settles. Mr. Richardson, you had
Madam
a
Chair,
comment.
thank you. Dr. Duke, could you expound a bit on the difference between officers in the school for crime and punishment versus protection?
Yeah, so absolutely, our SROs 100% are there. One is a deterrent to make sure that our staff, our students are safe. They play an incredible role in the relationship building with our students, and really to allow, I have two principals in the audience tonight, to allow them to do their job, which is focus on instruction, focus on the needs of our student. But going into next year, they'll be doing classes with all of our fifth grade students, so they lead that program. And again, help with, when you have an event with an awards day, I mean, we could easily have 1,000 parents in that building. So having police officers there ready to act in case of emergency. We've had our, unfortunately, situations this year where they've had to really step up, nothing major, but where their presence makes a big difference. And so we appreciate that.
Thank you, Dr. Duke. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Any other comments or questions? All right, all those in favor of approving the memorandum of understanding with Murfreesboro Police Department, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? And it's approved. All right, next, a couple of budget amendments. Approval of a budget amendment, fiscal year 26 general purpose transportation. Dr.
We are requesting the board approve a budget amendment to transfer $10,000 of previously approved funds within our transportation budget. This amendment addresses several accounts requiring some last-minute end-of-the-year adjustments due to some end-of-year invoices directly related to transportation services for our homeless and foster care students, as well as Department of Transportation physicals for staff. Additionally, in your consent agenda tonight, we did a couple bus extensions, and there are some fees associated with that we would like to pay out of this year's budget. The funds are being reallocated from savings identified within the transportation account. There are no programmatic changes, no new positions, and no impact of fund balance. We are recommending approval as presented and are happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve the budget amendment for transportation?
So moved, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Richardson. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Long. Any comments or questions? All those in favor of approving the transportation budget amendment, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And it's approved. Another budget amendment, fiscal year 26 interfund summer school. Dr. Duke.
Yes, we're requesting approval of a budget amendment to transfer $19,200 of previously approved summer school funds within our general purpose budget. This amendment is necessary based on some new state guidance we received last week, asking that those funds be reallocated from salaries to in-service and staff development. The savings are found as a result in crossing guard salaries are now being paid through the transportation budget, allowing these funds to be redirected. There's no programmatic changes, no new positions associated with the amendment.
Thank you. Do you have a motion to approve the budget amendment for the summer school?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Campbell. Second, Ms. Long. Any comments or questions? All those in favor of approving the budget amendment, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And it's approved. Next, approval of the strategic plan 2026 to 2031.
Yes, I am very excited to formally present the board's 5-year strategic plan for 26 through 31. As the board knows, in August of 25, we began the process of developing this plan to serve as a blueprint for implementing the board's vision to our school system. The board established and solidified the district goals in October, and from that point through May, district staff gathered input from teachers, from school administrators, from department heads, from parent groups through a variety of engagement opportunities. And since that time, the board has received multiple updates around this process. So this evening, we are presenting the final draft for approval. Once adopted, the strategic plan will provide consistency of priorities for leadership across the district. It will guide budgeting and funding decisions and serve as a framework for measuring and monitoring our progress. Again, I just want to thank everyone that was involved in creating this plan. And as we get ready to launch the 26-27 school year, excited at the possibility of having a new strategic plan from which we can work from. So we are recommending approval as presented and are happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Do we have a motion to approve the strategic plan?
So moved, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Settles. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Richardson. Any comments or questions?
I'm excited.
Yes.
A lot of hard work.
Yeah. Are you going to say?
I was gonna say, and then I just decided not to because I talk so much. But I will give kudos to Dr. Duke and the extensive. I don't know if people really understand how much work goes into this and how much work Dr. Duke does to get us aligned to carry out the mission of educating our children especially with a dwindling budget and what seems to be constant attacks on public education, starting at the federal level down to the state level. And he has a way of, even when he has to give us bad news, I think of that. I think of the song from that old musical, Just a Spoonful of Sugar Helps the Medicine Go Down. And I think he does such a masterful job at getting us on point and helping us to understand just why we do what we do. And I appreciate that. And I know he doesn't stand on his own. He's going to say that, well, it's not just me, it's everybody else. And that's true. And so I thank his staff as well. We just probably have the best, well, we do have the best school system in Tennessee. I know that. And probably the nation. So thank you for all the hard work that you do, and central office staff, principals, teachers, everybody that it takes to make it work. So I'm just honored. He makes our job so easy, up here. So thank you.
That's true.
And we make his job hard.
Yes, we do. We try.
No.
Any comments or questions on the strategic plan?
Well, if we make it hard, he sure does meet the challenge.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
For sure.
Does a good job.
Yeah, he does.
Thank you.
Well, I want to add one thing about the strategic plan. I've been a part of a lot of organizations that have strategic plans, and they go through this big process, and everyone gets into it, and then it sits on a shelf,
Yeah.
and you never look at it again. But this, I just want people to know, this really is it's a living document that we turn to make sure we stay on task and aimed toward what we all agreed we want to be aimed toward. So really appreciate all the work that went into it and all the thought, and just keeping us mindful that we did make a plan. And so we have agreed goals. All right. That said, all those in favor of approving the strategic plan, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And it's approved. Next, approval of the April revenue and expenditure report. Mr. Owens, hello. Good evening.
You have my report in front of you. As you look through it, you notice that our income is definitely a lot higher than our expenditures at this point in the year. That's always a very promising sign. If you will look at the percentages on the revenue page, we were 2.5% up from last year. However, expenditures are 3.5% up. Cost of doing business is higher than it has been before. Outside of that, hopefully we can finish the year out strong as we can, and I'd be happy to entertain any questions you have.
Do we have a motion to approve the April revenue and expenditure report?
So moved, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Richardson. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Price. Any comments or questions? I think you're off the hook. Thank you. All those in favor of approving the April revenue and expenditure report, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? And it's approved. All right, next we move to reports and information. And our first report is enrollment. Mr. Rocha, hello, good evening.
Good evening, Board.
Good evening.
I have the pleasure of talking about our end-of-year Period 9 report. So as we take a look at our total enrollment at the first slide, from Period 1 to Period 9, we have an increase of 21 students. If you take a look at the handouts, you'll see more detailed information as well. Our average daily attendance, we saw a 0.3 increase. Very pleased with that, ending the year with 49.5%. From the previous year. So we went up from there. Significant mention that all schools were between, rounding my numbers, to 94% to 97%. So we ended in a good place with ADA. Taking a look at our unofficial and I have to say that unofficial a couple times, because the state goes forward and they provide students that have moved. And if students have been with us for 50% of the year, but they've moved, that number comes back to us for attendance reporting. So the numbers true up, and we get that information later this coming school year. So I'd like to mention that we have a 10% decrease, and our total percent was 9%. Unofficially, we have schools that remained the same or decreased. None of them increased in that matter. Discovery, very own, had a 70% decrease. As we take a look, you'll see the percentage of our students there. I won't read all of them, but again, these are unofficial until we get the state results back. Look at our truancy rate. That's 10 plus days of unexcused absences. We had a decrease as well, so we saw 75 less students in that number, and a decrease significantly as we look at schools that were anywhere from 17 to 75% in that matter as well. As we look at our PTR, that number just was slightly lower of 0.02, and would be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Any questions? I like those truancy and chronic absenteeism percentage changes. That's really encouraging.
As we talk about tiers 1, 2, and 3, we know they're working.
Yeah, a lot of building level incentives for sure.
Yes, Mr. Campbell.
How does our pupil-teacher ratio compare to other systems, either locally or mid-state?
I don't have that information handy, so I wouldn't want to speak to something I don't know, but we are blessed with great PTR numbers, is what I would say.
Yeah, and I would say, I mean, we're obviously the state ratio is 1 to 20. You can see all year we have been significantly lower than that. We know our enrollment went down a little bit this year, and we did make a few staffing changes where we could, but we did make a lot, which left those PTRs lower. Going into next year, even with some of the unfortunate cuts we've had to make as far as staffing and things like that, we are still projected to be well within our PTR of right at 20 to 1 or less, depending on the size of the school. But we are watching that carefully. If we do get a bigger kindergarten class than expected, we'll be ready to move forward and hire more teachers to keep that in the range that we need to keep it in.
Registration is open, and enrollment verification begins at the end of July.
Excellent. Any other comments, questions? All right, thank you. Next, under reports and information, is the personnel report.
You have the personnel report in your packet tonight. I do want to clarify one thing and Dr. Johnson wasn't able to be here today. For you guys to know with that report, you'll see under the hiring portion, there's no one listed, and that is because the report would list that on their first date. So any of the new teachers we hired won't actually show up because they don't start till July 31st. So they're not going to show up on this report. So we have hired teachers for next year. We're feeling good about that, but that's why they're not listed on that report. But if you have any questions, we're happy to answer them.
Thank you. Any questions? All right. Next is the director's evaluation report, and I will take this one. Board, you know, we recently completed our evaluation of Dr. Duke, as did his reports and administration. And so we have our preliminary results. 2 components of the director's annual evaluation have been completed. The board observational data yielded a total mean score of 4.82 out of 5. The administrator survey produced a total mean score of 4.92 out of 5. The final section of the evaluation will be calculated once achievement and testing data are received from the Tennessee Department of Education. At that time, the 3 components will be used to generate a final evaluation score for the 2025-26 school year. Congratulations, Dr. Duke. Those are outstanding, outstanding results.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure, and I appreciate it. And I appreciate our principals and our staff and the board just for continuing to trust me to do the job and for the feedback they provide me. So thank you very much.
Yeah, I think it says a lot that the board, which works with you sort of in this level, technically, I guess we supervise you, have this high marks for you, as do the people you supervise. So I think that just says a lot about what a good job you do leading us, and we're very fortunate.
And Madam Chair, I think it speaks directly to that strategic plan. The administrators, when we're all rowing in the same direction, when the feedback is so positive, it shows that it's working. And I think it's incredible to have that reduced to a numerical value. It's tangible. It reflects what we see every day.
I will say, and David said it, or Mr. Shuttle said it, and I'll say it again, I think it's great to be able to, I love the job I do. I love coming to work every day, but that is in large part because I have such an amazing team that works. I've never seen a team this summer. I don't think I've ever seen a team work as hard as this team has worked this summer to make sure we're prepared for next year. And then what I see our principals do every day. And I think anytime you're surrounded by that high caliber of people day in and day out who just bring their 100% every day, the entire organization benefits from it. And so I just can't say enough good things about them as well.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. Campbell.
I noticed, we talked about in our last meeting, of building the basketball courts at Black Fox and, where's the other one, Don? Siegel. And I noticed them out the other day at Black Fox, and they were working very well and got it all poured, and I haven't walked over to look at it real close, but I'm assuming it's ready to be played on almost.
We have to install the courts, is that correct? We have to actually install the hoops, but we'll let you know, so if you and Ms. Campbell want to go over there and shoot some, since it's right next to your house, we'll let you break it in.
What?
Sounded like you were challenging him to a game.
Well, I could. I don't know that I could win, but I could challenge.
You may be surprised.
But, and then on the other hand, I'll say this to you, sir. Just because you get a good evaluation, don't start looking to go somewhere else.
Right.
Hey, yes.
Very happy.
If that happens, the evaluation's gonna go down.
Yes, that's right.
What does the breach of contract clause?
I'm sure we can
Strike
pull that
that.
out.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm very happy to share those results. Oh, yes, I'm sorry, Ms. Dodd.
So when they first brought out the teacher evaluations, levels 1 through 5, I was told no one gets a 5. That's what I was told. I'm sure other teachers were told that too. But I think it's very possible that Dr. Duke could get a 5 next year. I
We're
think
going to have to
so.
see a whole lot out of him.
I'm not going to tell him no one gets a 5 because he does such a good job. It's possible. Sure is. It gives you something to work on there.
Now I'll work on it.
That .18.
That's
Come
right.
on.
You can just
Come on.
round up.
That's true.
Like pennies.
Yeah,
It's true.
you're a 5 in my heart.
Thank you.
Even if you only get 4 cents, you're still a 5.
That's right.
Does anyone else want to embarrass Dr. Duke while we're at it? Okay.
His face is turned off
I
off the
know.
red of his head.
All right. We'll take you off the hot seat.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Next up, director's update.
That's right. Just a few updates for tonight. Believe it or not, summer school ends on Thursday. So after 4 weeks of really what's just been a tremendous program, we are done. I cannot tell you how exciting it's been to walk into our schools. Sherry and her team have done just a phenomenal job leading this and leading the work. I was at Black Fox yesterday. And I was at Case and Lane yesterday and Northfield yesterday, and I was walking around Case and Lane. It was almost lunchtime, and I was doing some classroom visits, and I thought it's the last week of summer school. I mean, those teachers were teaching their hearts out. Those kids were engaged. It was really just exciting to see. So it's a short program. It's 16 days, but boy, did it go well. So again, shout out to not just Sherry and her team, but all of our summer school administrators. Dr. Bullard plays a really key role in helping organize and lead that program. And then each of the site-based administrators, they just do a fantastic job. And they are all looking forward to having, I think, 2 weeks off before they come back. So that's happening. So that was summer school. Lisa mentioned it. I want to say again, our Hall of Fame, the third class is on Thursday. For those that can join us at Central Office, we would encourage you to come. A really great special group that we're honoring, including the Dr. Gilbert will be honored as well as part of the Hall of Fame. So wanted to remind you of that. And then finally, this is our actual last board meeting of this school year, but it's actually our last board meeting until the end of July. So July 28th is when we'll meet again, so we'll have a whole month off. So the public knows we will be, as a board, attending the law conference, the TSBA law conference, so we will be together as a board, but not formally as a meeting. But with that, that is all my updates. starting in July, Sherry's attention in the instruction department will really turn to professional development. We got several professional developments happening in July. Mr. Barch and his team will be turning to making sure our schools are ready, especially at our summer school sites where we haven't stopped, making sure that is ready, making sure our facilities are ready, and just making sure our hiring is done. So it's going to be a very busy July as well.
All right, thank you very much.
I have a comment.
Yes, Ms. Dodge.
I went and visited Black Fox today, summer school. Sherry met me out there, and it was just great. You know, the teacher to student ratio was just perfect. They had the small groups. Everybody was working hard. It was great. And when you go there, and the kids were so excited, it's like, you walk in and you feel like a rock star because they're all like, oh, take my picture, take my picture. And they were all they were behaving, they were working, they were learning. I don't know. I mean, it just kind of puts a different, you need to go out there and see them sometimes.
I did.
You do. I know. Y'all do it more than I do. I know you do because it's hard sometimes during the school year for me to get away. But that's why I try to do it in the summer. Because I don't get to do it so much, but just to see their little faces and how excited they were excited to be at school in the summer.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just amazing. You could tell that they just thought so much of their teachers and their administrators, and they were hugging their necks and everything. So it was good. It was good for my heart to see it and to know that what we do is important.
Right.
I know y'all know that, but it's just when you see it in practice. It just means a little more to you.
Yeah.
Puts things in perspective.
I agree.
Yes.
I agree.
Yes.
Main thing, the main thing.
That's right.
Yeah.
I want to say I'm very happy that Sherry's still smiling at the end of summer school. That's
Doesn't she look great?
it's beautiful, and we weren't at capacity student wise, were we? Did we reach capacity for students?
He's going to make you walk up here again.
Well, I just love Sherry so much.
We're averaging about 900 students a day.
Okay.
So we started out with about 1,200, and then when all the scores came in, parents took a different pathway, which
Yeah.
was fine. But we're up from where we were last year. Last year we averaged about 800.
Okay.
This year 900. So
I
we're
love
very
that.
pleased.
And I'm doing my best. I encourage every student and every parent that I run into that's in our system to take advantage of the summer school option. Oh, my kid doesn't really need it. I said, well, maybe not, but it's a leg up and gives them something to do besides sit at home and eat all your food. Send them to summer school and they can learn some stuff, right?
It's a great program.
Yeah.
As Dr. Duke said, teachers are just working so hard, but it is truly a team effort.
Yeah.
And we've just gotten a little bit better every year since this is our 5th year.
Yeah.
So, we look forward to it, but we're glad, too, to have a little break. So it's been great.
Well earned.
That's all right.
Quality.
All right. Thank you for your update, Dr. Duke. Is there any other business to come before the board tonight? All right. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Richardson. Thank you, Mr. Settles. All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.